Hello, everybody. Welcome to our 33rd greatest move in chess history in our series, Analyze with Me 50 Greatest Moves in Chess History. We are looking at a game from 1900, so a long, long time ago. And if you've seen previous videos, you know that I like to make the claim that long time ago they knew how to actually sacrifice in chess. Partly joking, but also a little bit true, where if you look at old games, like they're just throwing pieces around the board. Nowadays with, chess engines and so much more information, they don't make the types of moves they used to. But okay, so we have reached the position. This is a pretty short game. And in this position, you can see from the evaluation bar that it is checkmate in 9 moves is what the evaluation bar says. But we'll talk about that more later. So mate 9 is a little bit difficult to find, even when you're told that it's there, but you have to consider that when this game was played, there was no evaluation bar because there was no chess software, because there was no software, because there were no computers. So, yeah, a little bit different situation. So the person playing this game had to find this move in real life on a real chessboard. So, take a moment and pause the video if you want to take a few minutes to try to figure out what Fox figured out in this game. Oh, did I say who it was? This is Fox versus Bauer, 1900. I'll put it in the show notes. Yeah, take a moment, pause it, write in the comments what you think it is, and we'll see what the move is. So here's the thing that I think is interesting, is that if you look at the exact same position on, in this case, this is a different evaluation board. The previous evaluation board said mate in 9, and now in the same position, we're told it's mate in 6. So I have the same engine running, so I don't know how it figured out how it drops from 9 to 6, but I guess that's how it works. So in this position, white uncorks. The fabulous queen takes on g6, double exclam, which is, as you can tell from the evaluation bar, the correct move in that it continues the forced mate. So I'm sure when Black saw this move, he was probably like, what just happened? Because he can take back a couple of different ways, or he could not take it all, but they all lead to the end. So let's see what happens in the game, and then we will review a couple of the other options that Black could have chosen. So in the game, he does accept the sacrifice, and now White follows up with the second very nasty move, knight takes on g6. So that g6 square is seeing a lot of action here. The idea here is that even though this knight move is not a check, the knight cuts off that square, the rook has cut off this row, and if you can get the rook to h8, that would be checkmate, because the king would have nowhere to go. So in order to give himself somewhere to go, there is only... Are there any other options? I don't think there are any other options here. There are no other options other than to take, so that's what he does. And now the very simple bishop to c4 check. You can block with the bishop, but it doesn't change anything. Move the king over, and game over, because as the arrows show, the bishop cuts off the diagonal, the rook is doing the attacking, and that would be how the game actually ended, with checkmate. Again, that doesn't usually happen with modern games. People just resign. I'm just kidding. That's fine. Okay, so what else could have happened in the game? In the game, White could have chosen to take back with the f-pawn instead, but that ends in a very similar manner with bishop takes on c4 check. And now, again, the bishop could block, but it doesn't help. The king is forced to go either to f, or the king could potentially go to h8. But either way, the same nasty move. Let's say that the king goes to, then you get the same very, very nasty knight to g6. So again, that g6 is getting a lot of action here. The idea being that the bishop cuts off, the knight's checking. Excuse me, the knight's checking. The only way out is to take the knight, and then you have basically the same checkmate with the bishop and the rook. This black bishop for black is what is totally killing him. This is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just cutting off everything, all the options for his king, for his rook, for just, you can't get anything involved in the game. Okay, so though that we just looked at what happens if the pawns take, and black has to take this queen, because if the king just tries to move, then it's just mate in one. And the same thing for the other side. If he tried to go to the H file, then just mate in one. So that's why it was mate in 9-6. Still don't really know. It was mate in 6. But that's why it didn't really matter what black did. It was all over once queen takes on that g6 square. Very, very nasty. I kind of like the idea of, it would have been kind of fun if he had gone here, check, and then goes king into the corner. That would have been nasty too, right? That would have been a fun mate, the rook, keeping the pawn pinned down. Anyway, that was our 33rd greatest move. A lot of cool moves in that one, actually a couple of nice moves. If you're liking this series, then check out some more of our videos down there, and I hope you subscribe. Thanks for watching.